it's Steve here. I've got a Robur lock. This is a Swedish lock. It's used in safety deposit boxes. It's got 5 top pins and 4 side pins. The side pins are the same as the ones in the Yasa Twin 6000, except there's 5 in the 6K and there's only 4 in this one. But it's still a hard sidebar to pick because it has deep false gates in the pins. This one has gins in the top pins, and it's a hard enough lock to pick. And what caught me out was how much force is required to get that sidebar to retract into the true gates. I've a Asa Twin 2 here. You can kind of see how easily that turns compared to this one. So it takes a lot of tension force to just get that sidebar to retract. And because the tolerances are so good in this lock, once you get a tiny bit of movement, the top pins will start binding. So you have to kind of hold it kind of halfway between. And then when you get some of the top pins set, you'll get a deep false set. But if you're in one of the false gates, you'll get a slight false set. But to get out of that false gate, you have to nearly reset the lock and start again. So it's a tough enough lock to pick. I'll try and explain what I'm doing, but there'll probably be some times where I just go quiet because I just want to try and keep the time down on this. So start with medium tension. The first sidebar pin is binding, so I'll just lift it to the gate up one click till it feels free and move on to the next one. And I'll just keep working my way back and forward up through if it feels like it's binding, I'll lift it up to the next gate. If it doesn't, I'll leave it alone. The drops on them there, moving the first one up to the next gate, and that's because the false gates are deep. They can catch you out. I have a good idea of the sidebar code on this, but still get caught out. And I think I have them set. I'll check the top pins because they'll get something binding up there. So nothing yet. I think I've set pin 4 too high. So I'm going to try and drop it back down. What I'm doing is I'm flicking the pins like that. You can kind of tell by the sound and how they feel if they're in a true or false gate. And when I'm testing them, I'll use heavy tension. I don't know if the sound of this will come through. They all sound loose, so I'll check the top pins now again. Okay, pin 5 is binding. So I want to try and keep heavy enough tension on, so I leave it off. The sidebar pins will drop because I don't have that kind of false set yet. Okay, yeah, so that's the deep false set I was looking for. So that tells me that the sidebar is set correctly. If I was in a false gate, I'd get a bit of a false set, but I wouldn't be as deep as that. So now it's just the 3 gins, and they're not actually too bad because the counter milling isn't deep, so they don't cause too much trouble. So pin 5 feels solid. So I'll just counter rotate the core so I can lift it. Okay. I think pin 4 is next. Yep. And then pin 1, I think. Pin 1 seems to be set. Go back to 5 again. Maybe I didn't set 5 properly. Still feels solid. Here's pin 5, that's it off. Pin 5 is just catching a little bit. That's pretty good time actually. So I'll open it up. Put the key. There's that sidebar. These are four little sidebar pins. It's a small lock, but it's a hard lock to pick. This is the counter milling for the gins, but it's nowhere near as deep as what was on the Yasa 700 that I had. But they still do their job, I suppose. Just wouldn't say they're as hard to pick as the 700 ones. This middle one isn't counter milled, but the other four chambers are. these other pins out. Spring. Is that it's like a deep sidebar groove there. Really catches in there. That was a lot of the trouble I had with this lock. The springs are strong enough on it too. Sidebar. Just bring up the pins then. So sidebar pins with the really deep false gates. Yeah, it's a nice little lock. Hard enough to pick. But yeah, happy to get that one open. I've a twin 6000 actually I have to make a video for. So except it has barrels instead of gins in it, but it has the same sidebar pins and sidebar. So we'll see how much different that is compared to this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.